Muy buenas, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Bienvenidos de vuelta al canal, bienvenidos de vuelta a Tales of Arise. Bueno, vamos a continuar con la aventura principal, ¿vale? Estoy aquí porque terminamos aquí ayer y vamos a descansar. Lo primero es descansar, porque creo que no descansamos. Descansamos, cocinamos también, porque nos sobra... Oye, no me sobra, ¿eh? Da igual, ya conseguiremos leche por algún lado. Vale, bueno, bienvenidos y bienvenidas a toda esa gente que se está pasando tanto por Twitch como por YouTube. Ya sabéis que estamos streameando en las dos plataformas a la vez y podéis elegir la que más os guste. ¿Qué más? Vale, no trabajéis demasiado, eso es. Buen consejo, amigo. No sé si podremos crear algo más. Hostias, el filo expiatorio, gente, que lo tengo. Ah, ya hemos farmeado huesos de megafauna, gente. Nice. Pues bien, pues mira que bien. Para la saca. A ver, esta señora no tiene. Faltan piedras flamígeras de esa. Colmillo abrasador tampoco tienes. Esta sí que puede, escudo rojo. Dios, qué guapo, Esta señorita también le faltan cosas. Esta tiene ya el máximo. Y este señor, pues le faltan cosas también. Puede cogerse este. Vale, pues no se coja este. Vale. Alfen. Hombre, ya era hora con Alfen, tío. Claro, no teníamos ninguno. Estaban todos hechos. Pues tengo 3.900, pero valen carísimos estos, Recuperación de la IA. Daño crítico a full, tío. ¿No? Okay. Esto lo dejo para el último. Daño a puntos débiles. Evasión de efectos perfectas más fáciles. ¿Y quién me da el plus? Penetración, vale. Penetration.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Vale, pues ya estaríamos. Misión. Ve a Ulcebek, que ya estamos aquí. Tenemos que hablar con nuestro amigo Nice o algo así.
Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
Para que nos diga cómo llegar hasta la torre. Voy a echar un vistazo a las misiones secundarias que tenemos. Vale, tengo todo esto activo todavía, No sé, llega a la torre de la cima de la montaña. Pero esto ya lo hice, ¿no? ¿O es otro sitio esto? Ver en mapa. ¿Ahí? ¿Dónde es esto, tío? Espérate, ¿lo hago, gente? Un momento. Es que no entendí yo esta misión. Me parecía que era relacionado con lo de la aguja, tío. Voy a hacerlo y luego vuelvo, no sé. Pensaba que no lo podíamos hacer. Vale, a ver.
This is where the light fell? What's with this tower? Is it a
Anda,
dim
coño.
relic?
No idea. But the astral energy is getting stronger here. The light's definitely in this area. Even if it is an agent from Lenegis, I'll blow them away with my astral arts.
Vale, esta es la famosa torre. Ah, vale, entonces aquí no tenemos que estar, gente. Esto, yo creo que es misión principal esto. ¿Puede ser? Vamos a hablar con este. Y ahora luego, si eso, vamos para allá. Es que a lo mejor no manda ahí.
Ah, Calaglia.
Calaglia
Feels
liberada.
like it's been ages.
Vale,
And wasn't
tenemos
Zephyr
aquí
with us too?
Dad.
una
Hey,
conversación.
chin up. This is your hometown.
Everyone around here looks so much
Sí,
happier
como ayer
than they
viajamos
used
directamente
to.
a la posada.
I'll say. It feels like an entirely different place. I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
Yeah, he really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
Ok. Vale, ¿dónde estaba la misión? Por aquí arriba, ¿no? Aquí.
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head to...
Y, colegui.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphin?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
Espera, buscamos la
Starship.
aeronave.
What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. But there's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
Bueno.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Vale, Nath, ¿tienes todo listo ya o qué? Anda, no te veo esto, espada llameante. Y también veo a... tú eres Slow, ¿verdad? El chaval de Zephyr. ¿Estás hecho un hombre? No puedo creerme que un mocoso como tú vaya por ahí nada menos que con la espada llameante. Tu padre estaría orgulloso.
All right.
Adelantad vosotros, ahora os alcanzo. Como quieras, jefe. Vémoslo, no te matas a trabajar. ¿Lo conoces? No lo recuerdo. Si los hemos conocido en algún momento, debería ser muy pequeño. Podrías haberle devuelto el saludo, al menos. Recuerda que mi padre ha muerto por mi culpa. Ya sabes lo mucho que lo admiraba esa gente. Low. Siento habernos distraído, vámonos. Let's go. Low, ¿está bien? La verdad es que no. La muerte de Zephyr le está pasando factura. Es normal, aunque no sea culpa suya. Es muy duro cargar con algo así a su edad. Sí, pero está tratando de aceptarlo y sé que lo conseguirá. Me alegra oír eso. Va a necesitar tu apoyo. Todavía es un chaval y Zephyr solo hay uno. Vale. Plumaje de Hoodle.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Madre mía. Bueno, de aquí mando un abrazo y un saludo enorme. Y hay mucho ánimo a la gente de La Palma. Ya sabéis lo que está pasando ahí con el volcán, que mucha gente ha perdido sus casas y, bueno, terrenos, viviendas, fábricas, estadios de fútbol.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings
Hola
ended
Andrés,
up
¿qué
looking
tal?
like
¿Cómo
a
estás, tío?
colorful painting.
Buenas, buenos
I
días.
think
Buenos
he
días,
suits
Pepe.
his snowy complexion.
Ande.
It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels! Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hoodle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Venga ya, quita la historia del búho.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
Venga, me importa 3 huevos a Hoodle. Pobrecito. Porque no... ¿Por qué puerta era, tío? La que me ha señalado. ¿Esa? ¿Gente? Sí, ¿no? Me señala esta, ¿verdad? El desfiladero Sandino. ¿Por aquí se lleva, tío? Esto es del principio, pero no me acuerdo ya, tío. A ver, voy a volver al sitio ese. Eso es una secundaria, tío, pero está en Venecia eso. Es esto, tío. Pues esto tiene que ser nuevo, porque aquí hay un camino nuevo y todo, tío. No sé. Consigue a la torre de la cima. Llegar a la torre de la cima de la montaña. Adiós, mago. Se llama esta misión. Parece una secundaria buena, no esta de matar monstruos y ya está. A ver. Adiós, mago. Un hombre llamado Torbin fue investigado en una de las luces de la aguja y aún no ha regresado. Rumbo percibe energía astral procedente de la torre que se alza sobre el monte de Diara. Recompensas tambor legendario, 36.000 pavos. ¿Qué es 36.000 pavos? Pero no sé si será muy largo esta, tío. A ver estos, ¿de qué nivel son? Cuidado que me van a pegar para el pelo. Ah, bueno, son hojas dobles de esto. Mierdecilla. Estas son mierdecillas, ¿eh? Y con las armas nuevas y todo. Acabo de mejorarlas.
Say no more.
Glacial spear. Pain between heaven and earth.
Shattering pieces! Attack time!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
someone being attacked?
We have to save them. I won't let them get hurt.
Vale. ¡Oh! ¿Qué dices? ¿Nivel 66, loco? Se le ha ido la polla. Se le ha ido la pinza a esto.
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Me parece que la misión va a ser de nivel alto. Perepe, ¿tú sabes esta misión secundaria así de nivel alto? La misión de la torre de la aguja esta. La torre del mago.
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Rising Wyvern! A chain between heaven and earth. Lightning! Here's the evil! A whirling whirlwind! Winds of heaven!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Glacial fire.
Armor won't save you. Sonic thrust.
Annihilation! Down! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Bueno. Sí, tienes que subir a una torre, no la hagas.
Crap!
Sí, vosotros quiénes sois, vais con Renano, trabajáis para ellos. Queréis licuar al superviviente, ¿verdad? Atrás.
Well...
Puedes estar tranquilo, solo queremos tu precio, Daniela. Pero usas datos astrales, ¿eres una renana también? ¿Eh? ¿Yo? No, soy Daniela como tú, vengo de Cislodia y... No me mientas, los danielos son con poderes astrales, no existen. Eres un monstruo.
Why you?
¿Qué le has dicho? ¡Aléjate!
I guess...
No le hagas caso, Rinkwell. Está algo confundido, le habrás aprendido tu magia.
Yeah.
Será eso. Además, ya sabemos lo que pasó con Almeida. No podemos culparlo por desconfiar, lo sé. Bueno, ahora que está a salvo, podemos centrarnos en la luz. Ah, sí, tienes razón. Bien jugado, idiota, de lujo. Entonces esto es una misión de nivel alto, ¿no? El boss es un nivel 70, nada, me voy. Hasta luego. Eso sí, aquí te tienen que dar de todo, ¿eh? Pero no tenemos gente. Vale. Túneles de la mina de Zion. Vamos a ver.
We've reached our destination.
¿Por aquí? Sí.
It's quite hot here.
Qué susto me ha dado,
The
tío.
climate feels different from Menencia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Hola. ¿Dónde voy, tío? Por aquí. ¿Estoy haciendo bien? No. Espérate, a ver. Por aquí. Estoy dando la vuelta aquí.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Lagazos. Everywhere. Hola. Aquí no hay ni cosas en los árboles ya.
So we're back in the Zion mine
Está todo
tunnels.
desértico.
Who would have thought we'd be going through this place
No hay ni
again?
fruta en los
This
árboles.
is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Oh, la primera vez que nos tocamos.
Yes, really.
Aunque suena un poco porno, pero bueno. Se refería a tocarse simplemente la mano. Guijarro de la suerte. De verdad, esto es el principio, tío. No se conocieron. Y aquí conocimos a Zephyr, al padre de Low. Aquí ni nada. Está todo vacío, ¿eh? Vale, es por aquí. No sé si era el sitio o darme un voltio por aquí a ver si encuentro algo. A ver, ¿qué tenemos? Ah, bueno, son nivel 7. Digo, a lo mejor no han subido el nivel, ¿vale? Hasta luego. Yeah.
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Tenía que haber puesto ahí un muro o algo para no pasemos o algo. Pues total, voy a meterme aquí para nada. Simplemente quiero investigar. Pero parece que no hay nada, de nada. Mira, bueno, esto me lleva un gel de manzana. ¡Wow! Ahí no hay nada, gente. Bueno, está eso, pero eso, ¿qué será eso? ¿Qué será esto de aquí? No puedo ni coger. Venga, va. ¿Listo? Listo. Colmillo afilado. ¡Hostias! Eso lo vendo ahora por 4.000 pavos. Corre, corre, que te pillo.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
Vale, un trocito de oro para venderlo. Ese sí que se vende, sí. El boss es un pasote, tío. Tías, a nivel 70, colega. Mucho, Volcán Berg. Burr.
So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
¿Esto se coge? ¡Ay! Espera, ¿qué pasa? Por ahí no podemos escalar, está claro. Eso parece. Vamos, veamos si puedo hacer algo. No estarás pensando en saltar por encima con tu bastón, ¿verdad? Ni se me había pasado por la cabeza. En cualquier caso, atrás, ya me cargo. Vale. Las artes de atrás de hoja crean puente. Vale, esto es lo mismo, ¿no? Que requiere PCs de estos, ¿no? Vale. Rocamadillo. Me voy a hacer un bocadillo.
Can't get out of this! My head's spinning just in an instant! Impact cross!
Will this help?
Damn it! It's almost too strong!
Hold on to your arms.
Be my guest!
Here's a healing
Shattering of pieces! Attack!
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword and with my thorns.
Look sharp. Leave the charges to me. I got it.
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
Por aquí he vuelto, ¿no? Vale. El camino sería este, ¿no? Camino natural, ¿no? O no, no porque no puedo seguir. Tengo que coger obligatoriamente el camino de escalar eso. Vale, pues vamos a hacernos esto.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Here I come! Demon Pack!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for you.
Sí, no, ahí ponía a tirar la magia, tú.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Piedras flamígeras. ¿Era eso lo que necesitábamos? He cogido lo que había ahí. Sí, ¿no? grandotes, cuidado, McMallen.
Now or never. See what I can do. This one's all mine. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You picked the wrong fight. No armor. Stop. Me.
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Okay. Here I an astral arch.
That's my cue.
Demon Fang. Shut him down. This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it.
I think we
I'll
can
leave
get
it to
through
you.
this.
Don't let up until it.
Ah, ¿no tiene el núcleo? Sí que tiene el núcleo, ¿no? Sí.
It's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Ahí.
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Vacuum blade. Demon Fang.
Anything in armor is all mine.
I'll smash you. Can't get out of this.
Inferno
The
now.
flame inside me.
Make it
You're-
right.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Switch.
Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno. Kisara, Commander of Heavens. Phoenix Cyclone.
¡Hala!
Well then, I should probably
Fragmento de
think about
granito, eso lo
tonight's
necesitamos
menu.
también, Vestido
Looks like some
gótico.
solid equipment.
Cuidado, Cuidado con los vestidos góticos. ¿Es esto? Sí. Ya estaríamos. Impresionato.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer, thank you very much.
I won't forgive you. Not in your dreams.
Quietos para todos.
Ignite. Commander of Heavens. Phoenix Cyclone. Did it.
Yeah! Nice technique!
Then handle this.
We got flyers.
I've got this. Let him hold on to your art. Here I come.
All yours.
Here.
Allá. Rápido.
There's more where that came from.
Vale. Espérate, me perdí por aquí. Ya que se ha caído, ¿lo habéis visto? Qué gracioso.
Don't mind if I do.
Denied!
Glacial spear.
Make it rain!
Get out of the way. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. Sword Rain old-fashioned their defense.
I'll stop it. Glad you have your thanks, Kisara.
Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Yeah.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny
Vamos, que tengo el
mood.
bonus. Vamos,
My
que tengo el
face
bonus.
is
Tengo el bonus,
starting
tengo el
to
bonus, tengo uno.
And my throat feels super
Mierda.
parched.
Gel de limón, gel de limón. ¿Esto qué era?
Here, have some.
Vale, ¿por dónde voy, gente? Ah, vale, es por aquí, para abajo, ¿no? Aquí hay una escalera, hostia.
Some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Aquí.
Thanks.
Oh, la, la.
You want some too, Shion?
Se me acaba, vamos, corre, corre. Ahí está. Se me acababa el bufo.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Yes.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Cole, 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 cole.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Not on my watch.
This one's mine. Where are you going? Take cover when it calls up.
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training.
Look sharp.
Charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
I'll smash you.
Not today!
Get on in there with the others. Illuminate the soul. Look sharp. Too much to handle.
The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that.
On guard.
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Our expert coming through.
No, me confundí.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Here I come! Rumbo!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done.
Here I go.
Shield
Armor won't save you.
Hurricane.
I feel the power flowing through me.
You'll be able to help even more people now.
Yeah, I guess I will.
Te ponen un gel de naranja ahí, por si acaso te quedas sin gel de naranja para poder subir. Porque no hay otro camino. Ah, se me ha gastado ya. Bueno, da igual. ¿Dónde estoy ahora? ¿He vuelto al mismo sitio? Creo que sí. Sí, ¿no? ¿Por dónde he subido? Por aquí. Claro, he creado atajo este, ¿no? Vale, pero hay que ir hacia el otro lado. Hay que ir todo recto. Hemos creado un atajo al principio. Vale, por aquí no he ido. A ver. Vamos a hacer un par de chutes de estos. Aquí hay mucha peña.
Looking good out there.
Just getting started.
That's the spirit. Take no prisoners.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both. Leave the enemy's arms to me.
Take this!
Now.
Place here! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah.
Whirling
Nice
struggle.
technique.
They're all coming after me.
I'm coming, Redwell.
I'm not scared. I'm totally fine.
Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Denied!
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Illuminate
The flame inside me
No.
yearns to be let free!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
A victory for the ages.
The design
Brigantina.
of this equipment is
Ahí
really
está la lava.
interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Vamos que se me gasta. Vamos que se me gasta. Brigantina. Eso es para esta señora. Ah, pero es peor. Qué raro, ¿no?
Little help. You all. I'll smash you. Healing strike.
All right.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Make it rain!
In an instant! Impact cross!
Take it. It's hurricane flow.
Rising Falcon!
That's a chain between
Escape! Lunar Rondo!
Do you require a hand?
Get on in there with anything in armor is all mine. Now, freeze lancer.
A victory for the ages.
I won't forgive you.
Ready to go!
Dragon
Denied.
Now you see what I can do.
It's on!
Freeze laser.
Explosive ring! Burn!
Go get the soul. Ice prison. Make it ready. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Ve, aquí tengo una escalerilla. Espérate que me la ha pasado.
It's crazy to see rocks melt.
No,
before
ay,
our
no, esta
eyes.
no es.
Watch where you're going, everyone.
Este es el camino, ¿no? Vale, sí puedo tirar recto para terminar de explorar. Vale.
If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law.
No empujes
No
a nadie.
pushing anyone. Not
Ya
even
cuidado
as
por
a
donde
joke.
pisáis.
I'm not a little kid.
A la izquierda, vale, sí. Aquí hay algo. Vale.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Not in your dreams. Ready.
You're mine!
Lunar
Sword Rain
Blast.
Alpha.
Laser
Blow
blow.
away.
I never miss. Do it.
Turn
Right. It's
Demon
showtime.
Fang.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Don't mind if I do. Mega ray.
Now you see what I can do.
Gemini Aqua.
Infernal Turret!
May 1,000 gales.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that wasn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Shion actually look flustered.
Do it. Here. Get toasty.
Burn strike.
Hear me. Flame light arrow.
No further!
Nothing gets wrong.
Kisara! Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone.
That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same.
Construcción.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely.
Túnica mística.
Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Right, here goes!
Glacial spear. Fierce evil. Arc
Here I
field.
come! I'm not
Freeze
done!
lancer. Lightning I
orb.
never miss.
Raining slash!
All right. It's
Swallow
do
blade!
it.
Shield!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! You're mine!
Flame. Reload.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Demon Fang! Burn!
Lunar corruption. Here
No lo había.
goes. By the power of one.
Pierce.
Celestial hammer. Searing flame. Reload.
Sword Rain Alpha! Blow away!
Hurricane I'm all stuffed. They're surrounding us. Magna ray.
Bien. Estoy poco hablador hoy,
see
Estoy
here.
concentrado. ¿Esta la ha cogido? ¿La de aquí? Esta escalerilla no sé si la ha cogido o no. Va a ser que no. Ya es como vienen todos, madre mía.
Gotta break through!
Right here. I got you.
Don't mind if I do.
Crescent move.
You're mine!
Lightning orb. Up and out. Wind answer.
Rising Wyvern.
The wind.
Nothing
Air
gets
thrust.
by me.
Spear!
Here goes.
No further!
Magic is there.
Orochi Fury!
Easter.
This
Not on
one's
my
mine.
watch.
Sonic Thrust!
Inferno crossing. I never miss.
Stardust! Rising Sun!
Raging star.
Here, let me help.
This
Do
one's
it.
all lost! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Rising Wyvern! Burn!
I think we can get through
What I
this.
can do.
Don't let up until it's over!
Who said anything about letting off?
Lightning raging
Backward
cascade.
blade! Dragon
Make it rain.
Demon Fang!
Shion,
Go for it.
prepare to crumble. Any chance we could make the next time a little bit warmer?
Does it look like it comes with a thermostat?
Ay, la túnica no la ha puesto, ¿no? Me ha ido la pinza, ¿verdad? Túnica mística. La resistencia. Los PG máximos.
All yours, Kisara.
Here, let me help.
Swallow blade.
Winds of heaven. First hold on to your art. Lunar corruption. Here I go. This one's mine.
Rising
Get
rocket.
into the wind. Not on my watch. Here, now.
Commander of heavens.
Phoenix Cyclone. Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
¿Cuánto guijarro? El dorado. Nice.
Guess I misread the landing.
Hostia, te digo, ¿qué ha pasado? Dice, no calcula bien, no calcula bien. Y de repente digo, hostia, no anda, no anda. Qué casualidad. Ha gastado las pilas, gente. Digo, hostia, qué casualidad. Justo al caer. Hostia. Qué casualidad, tío. A ver, un segundo. Hola. Ahí te he visto fino. Vale. Vale. Está viniendo una cosa del chat.
Frozen.
Hammer.
Frozen.
Nicely done.
Hammer.
All thanks to you.
Inferno
I can carve through armor.
Freeze Lancer.
Pierce through.
Flame of Fury. Glacial Spear. Here's Evo. First Force. Freeze Lancer.
Here I come.
Falling
Silver
Storm.
Wind.
In the wind. Air Attack.
Rising Phoenix.
I can handle it. Make it roll. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
I'm ready for the next battle.
Vale. El camino es por aquí. Voy a coger el otro.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Caigo, ¿no? Voy a parar al mismo sitio, ¿no? Sí, ¿no? Sí, he adelantado incluso un trozo. Me salta esto. Bueno, voy a pelear aquí. Me lo voy a matar a todo bicho viviente.
No further. Take down.
You're all point. By the power of water. Now, Kisara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Think we overdid it?
Rising Wyvern.
Not by a long shot.
Where are you going?
Flaming Meteor. I'm not done.
Make it real. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Right, here goes.
By me.
Not on my watch. By the power of water. Mega Ray.
Burn it
Raging
out.
Storm. It's showtime.
Tiger Blade. Take your in an instant. Impact Cross.
Hurricane.
Quito bastante, ¿eh? 15.000 casi, tío.
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade. We're in good form.
Vale, ya podemos volver. Ya está todo. Impresionado. The Red Woman. Uy, ¿se viene? Espera. Que me han dado esta, la absoluta, chaval. Ayer hice cuenta del tiempo real que llevábamos. Llevamos unas 50 horas, 40 y pico creo que llevamos. Empecé a contar todos los directos. Las horas reales, más o menos. Más las 3 que hice yo fuera de cámara y todo. Que esas no las contaría. De historia real, pues serían cerca de 50. Hostia. ¿Y esto, tío? Pedazo bicho, ¿no? Se parece a uno del Demon Souls, ¿no?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Hostia
Do you
puta,
think
tío.
this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on.
Let's go.
Un segundo.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know
Vale, a
if
ver.
you need healing.
No puedo...
Here it comes. Focus.
On your toes, everyone.
Vale, no lo puedo fijar. Antes. Digo, a ver si puedo fijar...
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you
No
even
puedo
have
pegar
the
ni
axe?
nada todavía.
Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
Is
Ifrit
summoning
malo.
Google? Take care of them while keeping an
Vale,
eye
ahora
on
sí,
it.
¿no?
Take this!
Armor won't save you.
Vale, esto es de nivel 40.
You're mine! No further!
There you go. Come on.
Explosive ring! Burn!
Seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns.
Se viene
The
el
true
copy.
nature of which I imagine we will discover as we make our
Voy
way
a
to
cantar yo para que
Lenegis
se
and
ponga con la mi
uncover
voz
the
por
truth
delante.
of what's unfolding here. I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns? She'll live? It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
Seguro que sale una cinemática de anime o algo ahora, ¿no?
I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again.
La verdad que la escena esta es chulísima, ¿eh?
Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Yeah. Kisuki.
You guys,
Cabezotas.
you're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go.
Let's go.
On to Lenegis.
Vámonos a Lenegis. Qué raras son las canciones japonesas. Suenan guays. La verdad que a mí cantaditas así de este estilo baladita, me gustan mucho, en japonés. Sin embargo, cuando hablan no me gusta mucho, tío. Pero esas cancioncillas así en japonés molan mucho, tío. A ver, el idioma japonés me gusta. O sea que a veces escucharlo así, que lo hablan tan rápido y tal, me vuelve loco, hostia. Como no entiendo ni papa. Vale, me toca hablar con todo Dios. Esto es lo que más me cabrea. Si hemos visto ya una cinemática de 1000 horas, hostia, ¿por qué tengo que empezar a hablar ahora con todo el mundo? Coño.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Relleno.
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
Es lo que ha dicho Perve. Si ahora empiezo yo a quitar todo esto, todas las cinemáticas completas, me habría pasado el fuego ya.
So many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all
¿No puedes
thought.
saltarlas o acelerarlas?
And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion.
Dije que las secundarias tan rápidas, esas las pasaría.
Than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
Pero esto no.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
Pero no, bueno, no sé si me he enterado. Bueno, no me he enterado.
Since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Pero si yo no sabe cómo...
Can you blame me?
Bueno, sabe que está relacionado con la reina Salma.
Que
es lo que puede quitarle las espinas.
They can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Pero ¿cómo se apoderaron las espinas de ella?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle
that
we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Right. Venga, uno menos. Uno menos. Hola, Kisara.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, ella sufre por verlo sufrir.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Explicarán todo. O sea que no se sabe.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close.
Te digo, no sé si me he despistado y lo han dicho y no me he enterado.
She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Esta se llama cortica. Hello.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind.
Es que en realidad conoce más ahora a Law que a Zephyr. Zephyr lo conoce de dos pelas.
I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Otro menú, venga. Me quedan dos. ¿Esto qué es? ¿Para irme ya? ¿Sin hablar? Me queda Ringwell y bueno, y si no está, ¿no?
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, We were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts.
¿Hay un modo cine o algo de eso para ver todas las cinemáticas y cosas de estas? Bueno, sé que en los campamentos puedes ver, creo que todas las cinemáticas de estas. Pero quiero ver si en el menú hay para ver. Es que podría hacer fuera de cámara, evidentemente, grabado, ¿vale? Cuando tenga tiempo, sin cámara, sin nada, sin micro, sin nada. Simplemente grabar todas las cinemáticas y hacerlo en modo película de eso. Pues no sé si hay algo de eso. Registros del juego. Tiempo de combate 6 horas y media, tú. ¿Me pone aquí tiempo de conversación? ¿Eh? Escenas desbloqueadas. ¿Que me quedan 124 escenas? Madre mía. Vale, solo me quedan 3 zonas de acampadas para descubrir. Solo me quedan 6 monstruos de élite, tío. Y veo un montón de flores astrales, la mitad. Madre mía, lo que tiene este juego para... Pues no veo que haya nada de eso, ¿no? Pues no sé si se puede ver todo en el campamento.
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
Oye, la versión remasterizada de The Witcher 3 no han dicho nada todavía, ¿no? Dijeron que va a salir este año, a final de año.
Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you. I'm not surprised you forgot.
Me lo tengo que instalar otra vez, pero no me lo quiero instalar porque...
I was different back then.
Claro, porque yo siempre le meto el mod este tocho de textura.
And I knew I would
Pero
always
supuestamente sacarán el juego ya como si tuviese el mod remasterizado.
Shattered the wall that I'd built up around me.
Lo han retrasado, dice Perepe.
Because
Pero no
until
han dicho
that
fecha ni
moment,
nada.
I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword and to obtain the Renis Alma. But
Eres un
after
objeto,
that
te ha
day,
usado.
one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends.
Amigos, sí, sí,
It didn't
amigos.
matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend.
¿Qué dices, Freeman?
Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that.
¿Eso es cierto?
I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Pero te llevaría balas de fogueo, ¿no?
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time.
O ha sido fuera de cámaras.
After saying how I felt and hearing what you all had to say, I finally
Hostia, luego lo veré
understood
en la
that.
noticia.
Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying
Bueno, luego veré a ver
anymore.
lo que es.
I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about.
Como con
to give
Brandon
in
Lee,
now.
estaba pensando en eso, en el cuervo.
So I'll fight.
O sea que
For Dan
alguien la ha
and for
saboteado.
myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water.
Hostias, qué fuerte, tío.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
Vale, ahora os explico lo que está pasando, lo que están diciéndome por el chat, gente.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead,
Si no podéis ver el
Shion.
chat.
Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
A ver. Era un... Bueno, a ver, os leo la noticia, que saldrá luego en las noticias. Alec Baldwin, el actor tan famoso, ha matado a una actriz disparándole durante el rodaje de una película. Supuestamente, no se sabe, no, de momento no sabemos nada, pero que ha sido como con Brandon Lee en la película El Cuervo. Que no se sabe si le cambiaron las balas de fogueo por unas reales o algo de eso, o algo ha pasado ahí, alguna historia. Dice que es un western en Nuevo México. Bueno, dice, luego saldrán las noticias. Lo veremos, a ver.
Everyone well rested?
Por favor, que no me metan ahora 40 conversaciones extras. Bien. Gracias. Thank you. He visto, después de estar todo oscuro y tal, y triste, ahora te ponen así en el amanecer, todo colores claros, de alegría. Qué bonito. Qué bonito todo. Vamos a descansar, ¿no?
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
A ver, recordar. Claro, aquí salen todas las escenas y cinemáticas, gente. Hostia, pues sería una buena idea hacerlo, ¿no, gente? ¿Qué decís? Lo que no me sé el orden, tío. Claro, si supiese el orden de esto, para intercalarlo con esto, quiero decir. Hostia, pues lo puedo hacer, Dios, todo esto me he tragado, tío. Madre mía. ¿Y estas estas que están así no las he visto? Ah, vale, porque estas son del principio. Seguramente las he pasado. Puede ser. Ah, pues mira, pues podría hacerlo, Eso llevaría un trabajo forzoso, Oye, pero yo qué sé, me voy a comer y dejo esto grabando. Sería una buena idea, Y lo que queda, claro. Pues desde aquí se puede hacer todo, ¿Veis buena idea hacer eso, no? Y lo subo a YouTube. O sea, sin micro, sin cámara, sin nada. Simplemente grabar eso y poner solo escenas. Películas, solo escenas. Para la gente que solo quiere entrarse en la historia, ni pelear ni pollas, todo escenas. Y esto es como un anime, tío. No me queda ya esto, No me queda leche, tú. Hay que comprar leche. No quiero comprar leche, gente. Conversaciones extras. Yo siempre hablo con mujeres.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menencia a place where Danans and Renans can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time.
Ahora tienes más cercanía con Kisara.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Yeah. Nos podemos ir a tomar por culo de aquí ya. Bueno, ahora puedo, es el momento de que si quiero viajar a algún sitio, ¿no? Y hacer mis cositas y... Por cierto, Perepe, ¿tú sabes cómo se hace esta misión? No, es que lo iba a buscar en una guía, pero... bueno, esta es la de los búhos. Explorar el templo. ¿Qué templo era este? Ah, vale, este era que había como una especie de oleadas, ¿no? O no, o no sé. La flor fantasma, busca la flor fantasma en los neveros de Nevira. Este no lo he hecho tampoco. Vale, esta es la de los libros. No sé si tengo uno porque pone ahí enseña el libro más raro. Rabia indómita. Explora las cavernas calizas de fuego. Esta da cosas, ¿eh? Busca a Notio. Enviar al estanque de Talca. Mi amante no está. La pareja misteriosa. Resuelve el misterio y recupera el instrumento. Vale, esta es la de... Resuelve el misterio y recupera el instrumento. ¿No había una que teníamos que encontrar tres cosas? ¿Es esta? A ver. Es la del bardo enigmático, ¿no? Cuando resuelvas los 3 enigmas y descubras los instrumentos legendarios, vuelve a Nies para informar al bardo enigmático. Bueno, esto es lo que me queda. Secundario, gente. Hasta luego. Se podrá volver luego, ¿no? O sea que... de todas maneras, ¿cuánto llevamos antes? Que estoy cansado ya, tío. 2 horas llevamos ya.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
El halcón milenario.
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
¿Qué nombre le ha puesto? He leído la descripción, pero no el nombre.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Me lo he perdido. ¿Volverlo a decir, por favor?
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any.
Fall
From
Knights.
now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Fall Knights. Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have 2 goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Vámonos de aquí ya, hostia. Hostia, es un guiño, ¿eh? Míralo, míralo. Es un guiño, tío. ¿Lo habéis oído? Justo la musiquita ha hecho ese tramo de la canción un guiño a Regreso al Futuro. Cuando va a despegar con el coche y ya avanza.
Believe what?
I mean,
Vamos,
just
lo flipa yo.
the whole of existence crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you
En la banda
mention
sonora, o sea,
I
hay
guess you're
un
right.
tramico ahí.
it does look more
que
like
era
a
como de
painting than
Regreso
a
al
living,
Futuro.
breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
Sí, sí, mira, acaba de sonar otra vez.
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
Sí, pero entra justo cuando despegaba, tío.
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Otra vez, no jodas. ¿Otra vez
Everything
habla?
okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
¿Pero puedo aterrizar de una puñetera vez?
Like
¿O
in
qué
a
pasa
bad way
ahí?
different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It fits you.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Si tuvieras que leerlo te daría un jamacuco, hostia. Te haría ya con la boca seca, seca.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life.
Aquí lo dice.
For as long as I can remember. They called it treatment.
Desde que tiene memoria,
But in
tiene
truth,
las
they were
espinas.
just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean they
Y dijeron que era
experimented
como un
on you?
tratamiento.
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them
Todo
touched
directo
my
sin pegar un
skin.
espadazo.
How could I forget it?
Ya, hemos
Reeling
tenido,
from
hemos
the
tenido...
Like I was a
Bueno,
monster
hemos tenido
or
una
something.
mazmorra.
Some existence, huh?
Que
A
hemos estado ahí
blight on
peleando,
any I
más el
touched.
boss. Ya está, pero esa vamos.
Helplessly
Solo una
complicit
mazmorra.
in their pain.
En 2
I
horas.
thought things couldn't get any
En 2
worse.
horas hemos tenido solo
And
una
they
mazmorra
did.
con un boss.
I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul.
Que yo creo que la
Loneliness was
mazmorra
my
nos la
best
habremos
friend.
cepillado en media hora, con el
Sure,
boss
I
incluido.
survived, but with the knowledge that one
Más o
day
menos.
I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die,
Menos
then
mal
it
que
should
lo
mean
hemos
something.
puesto en normal
If
otra
I
vez.
have to
pero,
sacrifice myself to save
Porque
the
si no-
world, So be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right?
Venga, dejad de dar vuelta, de darle vuelta a la tortilla.
As if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
Demasiado, tío. Profundizan demasiado. Coño, corta, que ya sabemos ya sabemos de qué va esto. Ya lo sabemos, ya sabemos de qué trata. Ya sabemos lo que quieres expresar. No metas más guión, coño. Joder.
Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Bueno, espérate que hay más gente, no te lo pierdas.
Hey, Alpin, listen to this. So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, no nos estamos tirando de los pelos.
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alpin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alpin. It's just wrong, okay?
Bueno, una conversación rapidita, me ha gustado. Así tienen que ser todas. Podrían haber cofres y cosas, ¿no? La mierda nave. Hay cosas vacías, ¿no? Shut up.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth
ride,
all
mareaba,
things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alpin? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alpin, Can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
¡Aleluya! ¡Soy libre! ¡Soy libre! ¡Salta! ¡Yuhu! 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 ¡Hostia, no! Con dos Halin no, otra vez no. Pero es para despegar, ¿no? Para aterrizar o lo que sea. ¿Puedo subir por aquí? Esto es un ascensor o algo, ¿no?
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty
O
high
sea,
up in
aquí
the
las
pecking
clases
order, right?
sociales, en vez de
What
por
about you,
pasta,
Shion?
es por artes
Come on,
astrales.
you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Bueno. Por fin.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. A capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to
Déjame
live, no
vivir,
less.
señor.
Who
Aterrizaje en
knows what we'll find on the other
Lenegis.
side.
Venga, aterrizaje en Lenegis. Vamos, venga, va.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
Eso es. Allá, hijo.
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Vale. Bien, no hay más. ¿Esto qué es? ¿Esto para volver? Esto es por si te quieres ir. Volcánberg. Volcánberg. Entonces, ¿puedo viajar cuando me salga de la picha? Ah, sí, mira, puedo viajar directamente y todo, ¿eh? Ya podemos venir aquí cuando queramos. Vale, gente, pues que... den un ratito. Lo dejo ya. Se me había caído internet. Venga, que llegamos a 2 horas de pura conversación, sí. Bueno, a ver, Perepe. Esta parte es larga. La nave esta. Bueno, la nave, el Lenegis. Esto es Lenegis. Sí, no, esto será largo de cojones, ¿no? Lo dejamos para otro día, ¿no? Para otro directo. O esta tarde le doy un par de horitas antes de irme a entrenar. Es larga, ¿no? Vale. Bueno, por lo menos ya no tenemos casi conversaciones, tío. La misión se llama así. Lenegis. A ver, voy a echar un vistazo. Yo hasta esta noche no de directo. Yo es que entro a trabajar a las 6 y algo me voy. O sea, si puedo después de comer darle un par de horas. A ver. A ver la guía. Lenegis. Vale. Pues quedan pocas misiones principales ya. Queda esta, que se llama Lenegis. Vale, no voy a decir nombres para no hacer spoiler a vosotros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 misiones principales. Estamos en la recta final ya. Estamos en la recta final. Pues nada, mira, como sois dos nada más, pues para qué vamos a hacer una raid ni nada de eso, ¿no? ¿Qué? Para copyright. Ay. Bueno, voy a ver si hay alguien, gente. A ver. Labs. Dos y uno eres tú. Está Vero. Venga, se la hacemos a Vero. Por lo menos, os paso con Vero.
As a visual effects supervisor, I am constantly observing nature and the beauty of how light behaves and reacts to the environment.
As a car designer, I'm inspired by the dynamic sense of momentum from the way people move.
Con el DVD.
Inspiration can be described as the act of breathing in
and breathing back out. Everything you create.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Ahí va. Antes besazo. Nos vemos luego si eso. Chao, chao.
¿Cómo se lanzaba?